All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. It's kind of an overcast day here in Overland Park. I got a massage yesterday, but I was still feeling tight last night, so I took a small piece of a very low dose muscle relaxer, but it was too much. Now my body's all too loose. Ugh. If they never would have interfered, I'd be fine. I wouldn't have this much damage to my body. They knew what they were doing. They had been doing it to people their whole life, and they were instructing new people on how to do it. Again, when you see that kind of evil, then you begin to understand the rest of it. Right. You know, most people aren't going to hell, but those kind of people, they're going to hell. They're devils, demons, antichrists, witches, and sorcerers, even if they're the biggest preacher in the United States or any other nation for that matter. They're going to hell, man. None of this. They're protecting the world from it, from all sorts of things. Right. They are what causes people to fall. Again, they don't have to be out about it in everyone's life. If they're out about it in someone's life, and again, they're not necessarily a drug pusher or even somebody who grooms somebody else for sex. Both people in those situations could be possessed by these other people. And again, it includes physical, psychological, and metaphysical. And the scriptures are clear on how to read things. Yeah, there are people that actually investigate crimes against children that try to create pedophiles out of thin air. That's how disgusting it is. And they'll torture the victim into it if they can. I perused Facebook again today. It looks like that one dance organization I was speaking about, it's starting to heal a little bit. They're turning back into kids. Right. Now you can tell when they're trying to sexualize children. How you doing? You can tell when they're trying to sexualize children and stuff. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. And their demeanor might even change, right? You may not be able to see it if you can't see. Again, if you can't see it, then you can't see it, right? It's just like any other psychic gift. Well, again, let's get to here's an example of something. What's her name? Molly, not Molly Hatchet. Molly, I don't remember her name. Her father's a singer, a country western star or something. Right? What's her name? Well, when she was coming up through all that production that she was in, I mean, nobody's been prosecuted, but they sexualized her. Right? And even at one point, there was an adult that was caught clubbing with her, and they did nothing. But you see, things happened in her life. She became sexualized. Right. Okay, Larry. So people that move through those circles, it doesn't require a physical action, or although there could have been physical actions for the children to be sexualized. Well, the metaphysic is where everything is. So it's kind of a rough day. It's kind of a humid day. Right. I did get a pretty heavy massage yesterday. Right. So one of the problems, I know I said if you buy from Walmart, you get a warranty. Like you can buy a extended warranty. But the problem with it is once you buy it and open it from Walmart, they want you to only exchange it. That's okay. That part's not horrible. But what happens is when you get with the manufacturers that sell the earbeds at Walmart, they have a 1-year warranty, generally. But it's a scam. First, you got to jump through all these hoops. You got to cut a piece of the bed out and send it to them. Right. Then when they finally approved mine, there was all these lesser models. I mean, they were only twins. I was hoping to get a full, like that, or a queen that I, was seeking warranty service on. I said, if you want that, you have to wait. And then they sent me one. They sent me a full. I told it to turn it around. I don't want to see it. And then they wouldn't honor the warranty. So to get to that extended warranty, I said, well, I'm going to have to wait. I think I had a second one. That same thing happened bad. So I said, I'm going to wait until 1 year, and then I'll get, the money from the extended warranty. And then I moved in that time period and never extended one. Because you call it extended warranty, so well, we're not going to kick in for another year or 6 months or whatever it is. So it's almost a scam, the whole process there. I mean, you're on your own. There is no real warranty. Well, Amazon does not offer extended warranties on earbeds because, it's a risky service for the corporation that does that. Thank you, Larry. But what you find on Amazon are these companies that honor the warranty. They don't make you jump through hoops. I don't know how many replacements they'll give you, right? But I know they'll at least replace it once. Generally, the way it works is they'll replace it once. The second time, they'll, you want your money. So they're even good enough to refund your money. So Amazon comes up as the best deal, actually, in earbeds if you seek a company that has great customer service. Now, the earbed that I purchased from Walmart is probably the best deal you're going to get. But it's, if the thing lasts a month or 2 months, I mean, it's it's an expensive airbed. Right? So again, it really is important to have some sort of warranty. So Um, I'm just not sure, you know, how many times they'll replace it. But I know Amazon retailers that tell you they have a. We have to be careful though. I did notice something in how they describe the warranties. They'll give you 2 years service and like a 1 year warranty, which means what? Which means after 1 year, they might send you a patch kit or something if you ask for it, or if you say there's a leak or something. A lot of times it's difficult to find the leak on those things. So I'm not too sure as to whether uh, that there's actually a 1 year warranty where they'll stand by the product for a year. Yeah, my Amazon went crazy. I got no idea what's going on. I know they're willing it down. My orders are all over the place. So it is what it is. It isn't what it isn't. But the problem is if they deep state me in Walmart, then people will feel more empowered to treat you poorly. So I don't know. Definitely a rough night. Ugh. Nights wouldn't be this rough if I was allowed to seek my therapy course. Y'all made deals with criminals and became criminals by such association and such deals. Thanks, sir. So what happens is I can hear what their thoughts are sometimes. Again, it's just a gift of psychicness. Right. And essentially they're in a false system. They have like buzzwords and buzz statements that they use to kind of believe that they're okay. Again, the idea that I can forgive them and then they'll be okay. So if I forgive them, the system might up them and give them a better life. But yet they fictitiously believe that I have some power to forgive them. I don't. I can forgive you, and it may alter your life on earth, but it's only the system gaming on it. Well, I'm glad I averted an expense. It wouldn't have been that expensive, actually, but I had to go through a different way, and it was more expensive. Actually, Verizon wouldn't be that expensive. It would be a pretty good deal, actually, in the end, if I kept my one phone on the other phone carrier. But I was about to buy an iPhone, and they said, well, we'll give you the iPad mini for a great deal. Now, if you buy the 128 gigabyte, which is barely large enough, I think it's free or almost free. I can't remember what it is. But if you buy, oh no, okay, that's what it is. If you buy like they'll give you an iPad, but it won't be the mini. But you can actually upgrade to the mini and pay like $5 or $10, depending on the size of the memory. So it got kind of convoluted. I was looking at getting an iPad because I mean it was tantalizing. I mean it's really a good deal, and then they give you $200 to spend in their store, and they give you there's a lot of perks, but you end up over the so many years you end up paying. But again, once you pay that $10 upgrade fee, anytime upgrade or whatever it is, then it doesn't matter, right? Because I'm not somebody who's like seeking a different phone company all the time, right? But if you have that anytime upgrade, I mean, it's pretty simple, unless they play games with it and start charging you crazy money. Right? Well, essentially, they give you an iPhone 13 Pro Max, which nobody else will give you for free. And I think if you increase memory, it costs you a little bit more money, but not much. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, the anytime upgrade, you don't know what they're going to charge you for the phone, right? So you get one free phone, and then anytime upgrade, they could charge you out the wazoo, right? Because still, the best thing is just to buy outright is probably the best, but actually not really, I guess. And not getting any contracts is probably still the best. Like Boost was the best. Actually, no, Boost was a contract, I think. So actually, T-Mobile is probably the best deal because they had a 2-year contract, not a 3-year. And if you get a Pro Max, I mean, in 2 years, it's still a good phone. Right? And then you just look for another phone from another deal somewhere. Right? So actually, T-Mobile has the best deal because it's not 36 months; it's 24 months, if I'm not mistaken. I think, which means you buy a top grade phone, it's going to be fine for 2 years. You don't even need the upgrade, right? Even 3 years. I mean, right? That's one of the things some of the phone manufacturers are struggling with, the idea that people don't upgrade like they used to. Boy, it's a nasty day. So what's happening now is my left side was all screwed up when I finally got it to release a little bit, right? And for some reason, they couldn't get the right side released. At this point, somebody got it to release, and I think it was because they needed to work from the cranial tissues down instead of from the neck down, right? But now my right side's like all. What it has to do, it has to release. It has to get blood into those tissues, and then it tightens back up a little bit. Not like crazily. Now, 4 years, 5 years ago, if they'd stayed away, it would have come to mind. They're willing me down, and they know they are. Like, I'll be on Amazon, and I need to order something, and they will me down, and then I lose focus on the order, and then end up not ordering it. And what they do, one of the things they're doing is trying to unbalance your Amazon, trying to make more returns than purchases. I mean, it's like a casino. It's what it is for. It's like a casino, like the gambling. Lucky 7. They're addicted to causing people to fail and to die, quite honestly. They're very sick people. Actually, devils, demons, antichrist, witches, and sorcerers. Even if they're the biggest preacher in the world. That's what the Bible actually tells us, that some of them might actually be the biggest preacher in the world. or preachers anymore. No, I don't have anything. I already, because something's willing me to speak about, and this is what they do. They're willing me to speak about the Trump administration. I already spoke on it. I mean, just get real. What they're using is what we would. It's like defense attorney tactics, and I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You can't use defense attorney tactics before these type of issues. And what's happening is you're misreading anything that might be in your favor. It's only something very minute or time time. It has time wear out. It's only like okay, we will take away the initial order, but it doesn't mean that they're siding. But you can't. Again, the system is built a certain way, and you tried to like grandstand against the judges. You can't. Because a lot of them are the same judges that helped you and helped your people when they had complaints. I mean, you're a good judge when you do what I want. I hope you're not operating the judges with operators. I just hope you're not doing that. Because, I mean, the operators may be manipulating. Like, oh, yeah, we'll get the judges to do what you want. Just give us some time, boys. I mean, they may not. I mean, and I would say probably not. Oh, they don't care. The operators don't care, man. If they know it's going to flip Democrat here shortly, in 3.5 years, it'd probably be all over. And then they'll go to the Democrats, and actually they'll probably go to Democrats before that, right? Thank you, Larry. So much we do. Well, get real. I mean, just use. There's people left that know how the system works, right? Use the system for your benefit, and when you can't get somewhere, then you wait. Again, the part about firing people. Why you came in there talking about firing people all day? I have no idea. Again, I don't want you to do anything illegal or corrupt, but you're not the first people to come in and fire people, right? But nobody talks about it. They just do it. And they use that system that Driggs or whatever his name is, the acting leader of the Free FBI told you. Thank you, Larry. Again, I'm big on retain and retrain. That's what I'm big on. So again, I'm not always big on fire because you got people that have capability, man. They get rid of them. Who are you going to put in there? You put Stephen Miller in there that talks about law like he's like he's in kindergarten. I mean, come on. Me and my brother had to talk about it. Me and my brother try not to talk too much politics anymore. We're trying to smooth away from it because it's so crazy, right? But it just boggles the mind. The judges did not side in your favor, and will not. But you're sitting there with a foreign leader. Everybody's around on the couches. I mean, it's just insane. Thank you, Larry. Oh, it's like old-time Russia, Soviet Union. Right. Well, clean it up and do it right. The numbers are important, but then who you're deporting is more important, and that's what I told you. I told you it's more important who you're deporting. So make sure that it's right. It doesn't look like it's right. Well, there might be a pressure on the agents to perform, so they end up, deporting an American citizen. I don't know, right? You have to investigate it. Again, it's not so easy to do what you all said you wanted to do. There is a system. You got to work through the system. I'm kind of perusing it a little bit, and the Democrats are wrong here, the Republicans are wrong there. I mean, they're making. You have to do something, and I told you that you have to maintain the order in the nation. You got to get people that are just going to drink and drive every day of their life. Again, everybody commits certain things. Certain, I wouldn't say crimes, but I guess some crimes. But I guess there is something where an American commits a crime. Every American commits a crime. I don't know, once every 2 days or so. I don't know what it was. Statistic was. Maybe they include speeding. I don't know. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. What I'm getting at is, some of these people coming in here and they just go up in a place where you just get drunk and you have sex with kids. And I mean, yeah, it's true about the United States kind of today, but right, but not as much again. So that's why I said that anybody that comes in needs to go through an not indoctrination, what do they call it? Well, class to help them understand the differences in the nations, right? Oh, because these people coming from Afghanistan had sex with kids, and they're like, what? 30 years? Right. Thank you, Larry. Because that was one of the sticking points during the war, that the U.S. government said, ignore the fact that these Afghan men were having sex with boys. Right. That didn't go over well. Some sort of Afghan tradition. Just trying to walk a little bit here. There's a lot of news articles out there. I read them. I don't know if they're true. What it is. Again, they talk about Elon Musk accessing something. Well, to access it is not to violate the law. What happens after access, or what the intention is of the access, that's where that could lead to violations of law. Something weird going on over here. I'm hearing somebody talk and I don't see anybody. We got the hearing aids turned up too high, eavesdropping. Yeah, it's kind of a rough day today. Whew. But Blue Cross Blue Shield did approve my hearing aid reimbursement. So now I have to order them. I got a strange call from the ear, nose, and throat doctor's office, from the audiologist. And she says, if you use my name, you have to buy them from me. Now, I didn't use her name. I turned in the hearing test that she gave me. So the thing comes and it says her name on it and it says Costco. So I call Blue Cross Blue Shield and I said, she's not providing the hearing aid. She's just the person that gave me the hearing test. She said if her name's on it, I have to buy it from her. She's like, no, no. Her name's on there because she did the hearing test. And that's what you used to get the hearing aid. Costco's on there because they're the ones providing it. That was strange. Still a little tight on the TMJ there. I think it's better than it was. So again, the idea where I have power to forgive you ultimately doesn't exist. It's not true about it, and that's true about everybody. But I think people in the system in their head says, well, you know, because I've heard this before, that if they don't forgive you, then you can't get back up. So then you get the person mad at the person that won't forgive them. Well, you know, the answer to Venezuelan deportees is Venezuela, is Maduro. I've told you for years, you know, drop it and start negotiating. If we had already started negotiating, what do you think would have happened? We'd already be there. He'd say, sure, send him on. He might put some of them in jail. I don't know. Right. But again, he's kind of invoking his sovereignty. These are my people, and I should have to decide what goes on with them. Right. Kind of got sick yesterday. It was kind of a bummer because I wanted to get the VA and get the hearing test done. They should pull the stalkers off of me and take them away. I'm not, you know, it's been proven for years that I wasn't going to do anything and never did anything. Anybody said that they stopped me from a crime is lying. They're actually trying to push me to a crime. Right. I mean, torture me to a crime. It's that bad. So again, we should let truth prevail. And you know, don't game the system. Well, again, these people that you're putting in CCOT one day might get out, right? And when they get out, they might sue the U.S. government and become millionaires. I'm telling you the truth. I told you this before. We have to be careful. The United States is, you know, Trump ran on a coalition that essentially that embraced some things that he doesn't embrace. Right. Well, it's going to swing the other way. So tell me I should be mad at this guy because he won't return my call. And I should take the names of his children off of my ARC. Look, I don't even know if he received my text messages. I'm sure the government blocks my text messages and then every so often lets them go. I've seen it in my life where they held on to an email for a couple of years and then laughed about it later when it shows up. They use CIA level psychological torture. It's the high. We pay trillions of dollars for those programs. And they just use it for personal use, self dealing, whether it's CIA or not. It's still self dealing. The whole government's self dealing. Governments, should I say? They don't serve people. They don't serve the government. And yeah, they will. To make themselves feel good, they'll do 911 calls and care about somebody somewhere. Altruism is dead. They killed it by the deep state. Anybody who was altruistic was killed. So you gotta be careful of that one too. Oh, that person won't get back to you. Well, they block it. Like the women that wouldn't return my call after they put their name in my phone and their number. Oh, she was just playing with me. Oh, okay. They're playing games with all the things I got in my basket. Right. All right.